Welcome. Take a deep breath and let the quiet of space surround you. Far beyond Earth, a world of red dust and silent valleys awaits. The sun glows faintly on the horizon, casting a warm, muted light across the barren plains. Feel the stillness. Listen to the gentle whisper of wind across distant dunes. This is Mars, ancient, untouched, and waiting. Let your mind drift with the planet. As we begin our journey, from a distance, Mars appears as a small glowing orb suspended in the black velvet of space. Its rusty surface catches the sunlight in muted shades of red, orange, and ochre, each hue telling a story that spans billions of years. Pale dust clouds drift lazily across the landscape, hinting at the restless winds that shape this quiet world. As we draw closer, the thin veil of the atmosphere of Mars becomes visible. Unlike Earth, it is delicate and almost transparent, softening the harsh light of the sun and creating a subtle, diffuse glow along the horizon. You might notice faint wisps of clouds, fragile and fleeting, tracing paths over cratered plains and rolling hills. These small, transient marks of movement are reminders that even a planet of stillness has its rhythms. The surface itself is a mosaic of textures and forms. Vast plains stretch endlessly, broken only by cratered scars from ancient impacts. Jagged ridges and eroded valleys trace paths across the terrain, their shapes telling a silent history of wind and water, of fire and time. From this distance, it is easy to feel both the enormity of Mars and the delicate intricacy of its features. Above it all, the sun casts long shadows and highlights subtle contrasts, giving the planet a three-dimensional quality that invites closer observation. The red glow feels almost alive, pulsating softly as the planet rotates, revealing new facets with each slow turn. It is a world that is at once foreign and familiar, a neighbor in our solar system whose mysteries beckon quietly. As we prepare to descend toward the surface, let yourself linger on this view. Absorb the muted colors, the gentle motion, and the sense of timelessness. The journey ahead is slow, reflective, and expansive. In this moment, simply drift alongside Mars, letting the planet's quiet presence guide your thoughts and calm your mind. Beneath the rust-colored dust, Mars holds the faint traces of water that once shaped its surface. Look closely at the winding valleys and delicate channels carved into the plains, ancient riverbeds frozen in time. These paths hint at the gentle flow of water across a landscape long since transformed, and yet their presence whispers of a world that may have been alive with motion and change. Some regions suggest vast shallow seas that stretched across lowlands, their outlines still faintly visible beneath layers of sediment and rock. Imagine the slow ripple of waves long gone, the quiet expansion and retreat of water, leaving behind sandy beaches and gentle slopes. Though now dry and barren, these features remind us that Mars has a memory, a history written in stone and dust. All around, small tributaries branch from the larger valleys, like veins frozen in place. They speak of storms, seasonal changes, and the patient work of erosion. The planet's surface holds these stories delicately, and yet they endure across eons, untouched by human hands, waiting for the quiet observer to notice. As we glide over these channels, notice the textures, the pale streaks of lighter dust marking former watercourses, the subtle ridges of sediment, the occasional crater punctuating the terrain. Each detail is a note in the long, silent song of Mars, a record of change that unfolded slowly over millions of years. Allow your mind to drift with the flowing lines of these ancient rivers. Feel the patience of this world, the rhythm of forces beyond our daily experience, shaping landscapes on a scale and time span that invites reflection. In this stillness, Mars seems alive in its own quiet way, carrying the traces of water, of movement, and of time itself. Stretching across the Martian landscape like a scar of unimaginable scale, Valles Marineris is a canyon that dwarfs anything on Earth. From above, it appears as a vast chasm carved deep into the crust, its walls layered with the silent record of eons. Shadows stretch across the cliffs, shifting slowly as the sun arcs overhead, revealing the intricate textures of rock and dust. Descending into the canyon, the sheer magnitude becomes more apparent. The cliffs tower above, their jagged edges fading into the hazy distance. Tiny craters dot the canyon floor like footprints in a world frozen in time. In some places, landslides have left streaks along the walls, hinting at slow, patient movements that shape this colossal formation even today. The interplay of light and shadow is hypnotic. Sunlight illuminates certain ridges, leaving others in soft darkness, creating a dance of color and contrast that feels almost alive. Even the faint winds whisper through the narrow passages, carrying dust and memory along the canyon's vast corridors. It is a space of silence, scale, and quiet contemplation, where the mind cannot help but slow and absorb. From high above, the canyon stretches hundreds of miles, its depth plunging several kilometers. It is a monument to Mars's geological history, to the forces of stretching, cracking, and erosion that shape the planet's crust. As we drift along its length, take in the subtle color shifts, ochres, deep reds, and muted browns, each tone a note in the story of the planet's transformation. Allow yourself to linger here, to feel the stillness of such an immense ancient space. Valles Marineris is more than a canyon. It is a passage through time itself, a reminder of the slow, patient power of nature. Let your mind follow the canyon's winding paths and breathe in the quiet majesty of this extraordinary place. Rising above the surrounding plains, Olympus Mons is the tallest volcano in the solar system, a silent giant that commands attention from every angle. Its slopes stretch gently outward, forming a shield that spans hundreds of miles, while its caldera at the summit is vast and layered, a record of eruptions long past. From a distance, the volcano appears serene, yet its scale is impossible to fully comprehend. The volcanic highlands around Olympus Mons reveal the planet's restless history. Lava flows once swept across these plains, solidifying into ridges, channels, and subtle textures that catch the light in shifting patterns. Even now, the surface retains a quiet energy, a reminder of Mars's geologic activity and the immense forces that have shaped it. As the sun rises over the summit, soft shadows trace the slopes and caldera walls. Gentle light highlights ridges and valleys, creating a landscape of muted reds and deep ochres, punctuated by pale streaks of dust. The interplay of color and shadow feels alive, yet peaceful, inviting reflection on both the enormity and the stillness of this volcanic world. Descending toward the plains, the scale continues to impress. Every ridge and plateau carries subtle variations, remnants of lava flows and ancient eruptions. The quiet expanse stretches endlessly, a canvas of time frozen in stone. You may imagine standing at the edge of a lava field, feeling the stillness and the vast history beneath your feet, even as the wind whispers softly over distant ridges. Take a moment to drift with this scene. Olympus Mons and the surrounding highlands are more than geological features. They are monuments to patience, power, and quiet endurance. In their shadow, Mars feels both alive and eternal, a world whose vastness invites both awe and introspection. At the poles of Mars, brilliant sheets of ice stretch across the landscape, shimmering faintly in the thin sunlight. White and pale blue in contrast to the surrounding reds and ochres, these caps grow and shrink with the changing seasons, breathing in rhythm with the planet's long year. Observe how delicate frost forms along ridges and valleys, softening the edges of craters and plains with a quiet touch. In winter, the caps expand, a slow invasion of frozen carbon dioxide and water ice, enveloping the land in muted brilliance. When the seasons shift, sublimation returns this frost to the thin atmosphere, creating faint clouds and wisps of vapor that drift lazily over the surface. This cycle, subtle yet eternal, reminds us that even a seemingly still planet has a heartbeat, measured in the gentle rise and fall of ice. From above, the polar regions reveal intricate textures, layered deposits, fractured ice plains, and patterns etched by wind and cold. Soft shadows trace each ridge, highlighting the delicate contrasts between ice, rock, and dust. The effect is meditative, a quiet, ever-changing artwork shaped by time, temperature, and light. Glide slowly across this landscape, noticing how the ice interacts with the terrain beneath. Craters become shallow basins of frost, plains are softened by a pale sheen, and distant ridges catch the light in subtle gradients. Here, Mars feels intimate and alive, its transformations slow, deliberate, and deeply poetic. Pause and breathe with the planet. The polar caps are more than frozen landscapes. They are markers of seasonal rhythm, patient cycles, and the quiet persistence of time. In their calm, reflective presence, we glimpse Mars's subtle, enduring beauty, a world both still and ever-changing. Look upward, and the sky of Mars tells its own quiet story. During the day, it glows in muted shades of butterscotch and pale orange, soft and diffused through the thin atmosphere. Unlike Earth's deep blues, the Martian sky feels delicate and ethereal, like a watercolor painting stretched across the horizon, gentle and ever-shifting. As the sun descends, the colors transform. The horizon glows with warm copper tones, fading into pale lilac and soft amber. Shadows lengthen across the plains, and the faint shimmer of dust suspended in the air creates a haloed effect around the sun. Look closely and you may see tiny dust devils spiraling slowly across distant plains. Their movement subtle but constant, a reminder of the planet's quiet energy. At sunset, the sky reveals a surprising intimacy. Hues of deep blue appear near the sun, forming an ethereal contrast against the copper and red tones of the surface. The effect is gentle, calming, and slightly otherworldly, like witnessing a dream unfold across the horizon. The interplay of light, dust, and thin atmosphere creates a soft, luminous glow that invites reflection. Even in moments of stillness, the sky is alive with motion. Faint clouds drift lazily, catching the last rays of sunlight. Shadows stretch and fade, and the subtle changes of color remind us that time on Mars flows differently, slower, quieter, yet endlessly persistent. It is a sky that encourages pause, observation, and deep breathing. Take in this view, letting your thoughts drift as the Martian day comes to a close. The sky here is a gentle companion, a soft witness to the planet's surface and history. In its calm embrace, we feel the quiet majesty of Mars, a world that is at once distant, serene, and endlessly fascinating. Though Mars remains distant and silent, we have left gentle traces of our presence. Robotic explorers, small and steadfast, roam the surface, carrying instruments, cameras, and human curiosity across vast plains and rocky ridges. Their tireless journeys map the terrain, photograph ancient landscapes, and gently touch the dust, leaving behind faint tracks that mark their passage through time. Orbiters sweep overhead, circling the planet in quiet, patient orbits. From their vantage point, they observe the shifting seasons, the polar caps, and the vast canyons below. Together, rovers and orbiters form a quiet chorus of human ingenuity, a testament to our desire to understand and to connect with this distant world. Even in imagining the future, Mars inspires dreams. We picture habitats at the edges of plains, small settlements bathed in warm light, quietly observing the planet that has waited for billions of years. These visions are not intrusive, but gentle, respectful of Mars's silent, enduring presence, and they remind us of the harmony possible between exploration and reverence. As we watch the rovers traverse dusty slopes or orbiters glide past canyons, there is a sense of companionship, a quiet partnership between humanity and the planet. Even from afar, we participate in its story, leaving only whispers of ourselves while learning, observing, and imagining what might come. Pause for a moment and reflect on this. Mars is patient, vast, and silent. Yet through our machines and dreams, we become part of its narrative. Its quiet majesty continues to inspire wonder, contemplation, and hope, a world that invites both observation and imagination. As we slowly pull away from Mars, let your mind linger on its quiet landscapes, its canyons, plains, and distant ice caps. The planet turns beneath the pale sunlight, ancient and unhurried, carrying the memory of billions of years in its dust and stone. Breathe in the stillness of this world. Feel the patience, the beauty, and the silent rhythm of time. Mars is distant, yet it speaks in the language of space, soft, enduring, and endlessly fascinating. Let your thoughts drift gently as the planet recedes, fading into the black expanse of space. The journey ends for now, but the quiet presence of Mars remains, a reminder of the vastness of our solar system and the calm wonder of the universe waiting to be explored again. Thank you for joining in this relaxing journey. Remember to like the video and subscribe for more peaceful and relaxing space videos like this. Please also feel free to leave in the comments ideas for videos you would like to see next. Take care and never stop exploring.